Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 22nd of June, comes to you from London. And we're seeing a sea of red again on the screen this morning. So markets still very much in turmoil. We're seeing the dollar looking strong again on all three time frames. Remembering this is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart. Looking at the euro, we're seeing the euro is still bearish on those medium and long term charts. And of course, the short term, we are just moving sideways. Sterling, UK inflation numbers out this morning, 9%, 9.1%, just ticking up slightly on last month. Still a very high number, and market expectation is that that probably isn't as bad as was feared, and that's consequently meaning that sterling is relatively unaffected at the moment. Maybe the bank will be not raising rates, just stuck between a rock and a hard place for killing the economy or staving off inflation. So we're seeing there that sterling not reacted massively there, but against the euro did tick down slightly. And weaker sterling, of course, creating inflationary pressures in the UK as well. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we're just teetering at this 20,000 level, so still bearish there on the clouds. We did see quite a strong performance from the S&P 500 yesterday, up 2.45%. After the holiday on Monday, but we are seeing the futures giving up a lot of that gain this morning, down 1.7%, down 1.9% on the Nasdaq. So really, these moves are short-lived, and the VIX volatility still above 30. So we're in the fear zone for the fear index. The FTSE future down 1%. The DAX in Germany down 2%. So we are just seeing markets falling pretty much across the board. Asia had a pretty rough ride as well. Hang Seng down 2.5%, so quite a big fall there. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. We are seeing quite a lot of soft commodities falling away as well. Wheat down 0.5% into short-term bearish territory, and interestingly crossing the medium-term trend on the cloud as well. So we've got some short-term downside targets there now. And looking at corn, we're sitting at down 0.5% here, also below the cloud on that short-term chart. Gold sitting at 1825, just really struggling to rise. You would think with the inflationary outlook that gold would, but for the moment we are just seeing that move away. And looking at silver, down 1.6% this morning, again looking weak on all three time frames. US 10-year yield sitting at 3.2%. We did nudge that 3.5%. Pulling back, but we've got these upside targets. Looking at the energy mix, the big story this morning is Brent crude is down 4.5%, so really big falls there. Bearish on that short-term chart. On the long-term chart, we are still holding above trend. That 125 level is going to be really quite key, and 100 is a psychologically important level, so this is the range that we need to watch for the moment. WTI actually testing the cloud more and just starting to fall through there. And if we look at US nat gas sitting at 666, so we were neutral out to clients this morning. We're just teetering along in this range. We have targets in both directions. Keep an eye on that 1 minute chart. Coal sitting at 261, and if we look at emissions, we are sitting there at 83.85. Got quite an interesting range just developing on carbon prices, so one to watch there. Gas prices up 1% on TTF, MBP up 0.5%, so relatively quiet in the market. And German power up a further 2% to 243. The trend showing no signs of an end whatsoever. And we're just gearing up for our European gas and power report, looking at all the markets in Europe, so UK power, and looking at the price targets there as well. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.